Have you ever had the frustrating experience of being totally smitten with someone you're seeing, only to have the relationship end so suddenly when you thought everything was going so well? And you're just standing there thinking what you could have done to make it work. Ugh, it's the worst feeling. But listen up, you're definitely not alone. Plenty of us have been there, and there are some things you can do to make sure it doesn't happen again. And there are concrete steps you can take to improve your judgment and find the right fit for a fulfilling, long-term relationship. Let's talk this through. We'll start with the importance of finding the right fit for a long-term relationship. Picture this. You're in a relationship that's just okay. Maybe you don't share the same values or interests, or maybe you just don't quite click. It's not terrible, but it's not amazing either, and you can feel that there's something missing. Now imagine living that way for years on end, feeling like there's something missing, but not quite sure what. That's not the kind of long-term happiness any of us want, right? That's why finding the right fit is so important. When you're with someone who truly gets you, who shares your passions and values, and makes you feel seen and heard, life just feels better. You're more likely to feel fulfilled, supported, and challenged in all the right ways. And sure, finding that kind of connection takes time and effort, but it's so worth it in the end. So if you're feeling like you're not quite where you want to be in your love life, don't give up. You're on the right track just by acknowledging that finding the right fit matters. And with a little work and some smart strategies, you'll be well on your way to the happy, fulfilling relationship you deserve. When it comes to finding the right person, one key factor we can't overlook is compatibility. It's like the secret sauce of a great relationship. It's the magic that happens when two people just work. But what does compatibility really mean? At its core, compatibility is all about having a shared foundation of values, interests, and goals. It's about feeling like you're on the same page about the big stuff, like whether you want kids or where you want to live, but also the little stuff, like your taste in movies or your favorite way to spend a Sunday morning. When you're truly compatible with someone, it feels effortless. You just get each other and you enjoy spending time together no matter what you're doing. But when you're not compatible, things can start to feel forced, like you're constantly compromising or walking on eggshells. Compatibility is so essential for a healthy, happy relationship. Without it, you're more likely to experience conflicts and disagreements, and you may even find yourself feeling resentful or disconnected from your partner. It doesn't mean that just because you don't agree on something like what color the wall should be on your home, your relationship has no future. Everyone is unique and we all see the world differently. So don't worry, even if you're not feeling totally compatible with your current partner or struggling to find someone who feels like the right fit, there are ways to work on building compatibility and finding that magic connection. And with a little bit of effort and intention, you can create the kind of relationship that makes your heart sing. It's important to keep in mind that compatibility is not the same thing as chemistry and attraction. Chemistry and attraction, they're the butterflies in your stomach, the spark that lights a fire in your heart. But as amazing as those feelings can be, they're not the same thing as compatibility. You see, chemistry and attraction are all about the initial spark, the physical and emotional pull you feel towards someone. It's the rush you get when you're around them, the excitement of getting to know each other better. Compatibility, on the other hand, is more about the long game. It's about whether you have a solid foundation of shared values, interests, and goals that can sustain a relationship over time. It's about feeling like you can communicate openly and honestly with each other, and that you're both willing to put in the effort to make the relationship work. Of course, chemistry and attraction can be a part of compatibility. In fact, they often are, but they're not enough on their own. After all, even the strongest attraction can fade over time if you're not truly compatible with someone. If you're wondering whether you're with the right person or why you keep finding yourself attracted to people who don't quite feel like the right fit, take a step back and consider what you're really looking for. Do you have that foundation of shared values and interests? Do you feel like you can be yourself around this person? Are you both willing to put in the work to make the relationship thrive? By focusing on building compatibility alongside chemistry and attraction, you'll set yourself up for a relationship that can truly go the distance. Alright, let's dive into the juicy stuff. Identifying those red flags and deal breakers that can make or break compatibility in a relationship. It's important to be aware of these warning signs early on so you can make informed decisions about whether someone is truly right for you. So let's get into it and discover what to watch out for. Firstly, we'll talk about communication in relationships. It's really important to be on the same page as your partner, and that means being open and honest with each other. If you're constantly feeling shut out or your partner is not willing to talk about important issues, it might be time to reevaluate whether this relationship is right for you. Don't be afraid to speak up and share your feelings. Next, we'll look at having different goals and values. It's totally okay to have some differences in opinion, but if your partner's fundamental beliefs and life goals don't align with yours, it can create a lot of tension and conflict. Remember, you should feel supported and understood in your relationship, so don't be afraid to have those important conversations about your values and what you want out of life. Another important thing to keep an eye out for is disrespectful behavior. If your partner shows a lack of respect towards you, whether it's through name-calling, belittling, or disregarding your feelings, it's a clear indication that there might be deeper issues at play. Don't ignore these warning signs, and always remember that you deserve to be treated with kindness and respect in any relationship. It's important to remember that relationships take effort from both partners. If you notice that your partner is not putting in the effort to make things work, it could be a sign that they're not fully committed to building a future with you. So how can you recognize these warning signs early on in a relationship? It starts with paying attention to your instincts and being willing to have those tough conversations. Don't be afraid to speak up if something doesn't feel right, and don't ignore those nagging doubts in the back of your mind. And if you do identify some red flags or deal breakers, remember, it's okay to set boundaries and walk away from an incompatible partner. You deserve to be with someone who treats you with respect, supports your goals and values, and is willing to put in the effort to build a relationship with you. Now, let's dive into some strategies that can help you develop better judgment when it comes to dating and relationships. First and foremost, it's important to reflect on your own values, needs, and preferences. Understanding what you're looking for in a partner can help you identify the right person and avoid wasting time. Another key strategy is to communicate effectively in relationships. This means expressing your thoughts and feelings in a clear and respectful manner, and setting boundaries when necessary. Remember that healthy relationships are built on open and honest communication. Next up, pay attention to your gut instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Trust your intuition. Also, take things slow. It's important to take the time to really get to know someone before diving into a serious commitment. Don't rush into things too quickly, and make sure you're comfortable with the pace of the relationship. Sometimes it can be helpful to get an outside perspective on your relationships. Talk to trusted friends or family members who know you well and can offer honest advice. Another way to develop better judgment is to reflect on past relationships and think about what worked well and what didn't. Use this knowledge to inform future relationships and make better decisions. Lastly, developing self-awareness is crucial for making sound decisions in dating and relationships. This means taking the time to reflect on your own patterns, tendencies, and emotional triggers. By understanding your own tendencies, you can make more informed decisions about what you need in a relationship and how to communicate effectively with a partner. With the right mindset and approach, you can find your partner who truly understands and supports you and create relationships that bring you joy and fulfillment. Remember, it's never too late to pursue the happy and healthy relationship you deserve. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.